I think we're live. We're live, everyone. Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and usually I start these streams with kind of like, positive, I guess you could say mood or something, but just before the stream started, we had some really bad news out of Texas that it looks like there is an explosion at where is it? Let me find it. The exact hotel. So yeah, there was a explosion at a hotel in Texas, and Fort Worth, Texas in particular, the Sandman signature. And it looks like there's quite a bit of people that got hurt. So before we start, just prayers up to Fort Worth. Yeah, that's where it happened. It's not good. Apparently, it's not good what happened. A lot of people are hurt right now. We don't know if anybody's dead yet, but it sounds like an explosion with a gas leak. Not good. But I just wanted to start that right off the bat, just to give everybody word that there was a real bad event that happened in Texas just minutes ago. So hope everyone's doing safe. Hope everyone's doing fine. And yeah. Now before we continue with today's stream, I hope you enjoy these type of streams. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. And like usual, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, the best way to send a super chat via, well, the chat. Again, I try to read through the chat, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. And of course, I appreciate all support. And yeah. But yeah, there was an explosion at the Sandman Signature Hotel in downtown Fort Worth. And praying for everybody involved, because it sounds like it wasn't just, a small, one person injured. It sounds like a lot of people are injured right now. So hopefully no one died, but it's not sounding good. And we will get updates hopefully throughout the stream. Praying everybody's doing fine. And yeah. Princess Rider for 5. Thoughts on Barris agreeing with Vivek that if you follow the money, the DNC is going to nominate Haley over Biden. I didn't see that. But that is an interesting theory. That they're going to go with Nikki Haley and all of that. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's pushing it a bit too much. I didn't hear about the explosion. Hope there were no deaths. Yeah, so it just happened like 10 minutes ago. And the police are urging everyone to avoid the area. So stay safe. Let's go rap stream. Now I have an excuse not to do homework. Well, if you had homework to do, always worry about that stuff first. But thanks for joining, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. The Battle of Gaza City is almost complete. I didn't hear anything about that. Did Israel almost, take it over? I know they were going through weren't they going through the holes in the ground? They were, taking over the tunnels. I heard about that. But yeah, so we got a Nikki Haley town hall today, everybody. In, a minute, we're going to see Nikki Haley with freaking Brett Baer and, what's her name, from Fox News. So, it's a town hall. Apparently, the focus is on abortion. So, that certainly will be a very interesting thing. We also got the Epstein stuff, which I'm going to go over during one of the breaks, because there's a lot of misinformation happening about that. So, yeah. Did financial advisors from a bank say that Biden would drop out before Super Tuesday? JP Morgan, one of their top advisors, said that he was going to drop out. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's definitely a very out there prediction. Very, very out there that nobody saw coming. I guess some people think it's going to happen, but... Hey, Rap, I saw your budget video, and I have to say, I think what conservatives want is a no-deal scenario, but down to GOP dream bill and push it until Democrats cave or we debt default, which is stupid. Absolutely dumb. So... Vivek based it on how Democratic donors are donating to Haley and how her policy positions are no different than Biden. Barris agreed because they could use her to replace Kamala, a black woman. Oh, if they do that, oh boy, there's gonna be a lot of people have some explaining to do. Alright, Now we have the town hall. It's starting, I think. Yeah. I believe it's Des Moines this town hall is at. Oh, by the way, Michigan's winning tonight. For those that were going to wonder, I think Michigan beats Washington. So, yes, I wanted Texas to win, but it's going to be Michigan probably. DeSantis dropping out on January 16th. Just got to see. Just got to see what happens. Listening rap while reading a short story collection from a Twilight Zone writer. Can't get any better than this. That sounds like actually really fun. I never really got into the Twilight Zone stuff, but I should. Riley, the mini Deutschland for 5. Saw that Trump will campaign in blue states. The only thing he should do there is to convince conservatives to move out and go to purple states. Well, he's trying to help people down ballot. That's what's happening. All right. Iowa Town Hall. Yay. There's 10 people. There's quite a bit of people there. Okay. Sorry about that. Intro's still playing. Come on. We want a town hall. There's like nobody there. Unironically, there's no one there. Again, I can't show the feed because Fox News.
This evening's session is with former South Carolina governor, former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley. Governor, welcome. First, we're going to talk about who is coming up next, and we'll get some headlines. Talk in a minute.
Yeah, like we said, it's a big week. We have tomorrow night, we're going to talk to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Wednesday night, we will have former President Trump with us.
We have invited Iowa Republican voters from across the spectrum to attend tonight's event.
They're doing the intro. They're doing the intro crap. We're just going to skip this. Prince Writer for 5. Barris also collaborated reports that Ron will drop out after Iowa endorsed Trump. I've been hearing about that, but from some people I know, they're saying no. But who knows? All right, they're just doing some news crap. We can skip it. We'll just wait. They're just doing like, oh, Biden had a speech in South Carolina. Did you guys see that, by the way? I mean, I don't care who you are. You don't go to a church and protest when Biden speaks. I don't care who you are. That's just disgraceful. Like, there's pro-Palestinian people protesting in a church. It's like, really? Why aren't they doing a town hall with Vivek? They're scared of him. Because he's a legitimate threat. Why'd you drop out after Iowa to avoid embarrassment after losing to Christie in New Hampshire? I do think that's going to happen. The GOP is unlikely to win Washington governorship, but can make it more competitive. I think they're going to do good in the state of Washington for the governorship. I really think so. Biden just sat there and looked like, I'm not going to say that, but yeah, Biden did not look good today. But I wanted to know what Hannity had for breakfast this morning. Yeah, sadly, no Sean Hannity town hall. Now, speaking of town halls, what should we do on Wednesday? Because there is the Vivek event with Tim Pool, the Trump town hall, and the freaking GOP debate. And they're all at the same time. So I'm going to have to pick one of the three. Or I could like do 3 streams in a row where I watch the town hall or the debate, then I watch Trump's town hall, then I watch Vivek's event on Friday. I may do that. What's with Trump on the latest batch of Epstein files released? Should we be concerned? I will go over that soon because there's a lot of bullshit being pushed by that. Boston elevator for 2. Trump path to New Hampshire if everything goes right. To win New Hampshire or just the primary. He just has to win it. So
pause, but
okay, here we go.
What's your reaction to the president going to the Mother Emanuel AME Church, a church in Charleston you often talk about, and he said to go after you and what he called MAGA Republicans led by a defeated president?
Free content.
I mean, first of all, Mother Emanuel Church is a sacred place. I mean, we lost 9 amazing souls that night for just going to a Bible study. And I will tell everybody, those amazing people, all 12 of them, when someone else showed up that didn't look like them or act like them or sound like them, they didn't call the cops. They didn't throw him out. Instead, they pulled up a chair and prayed with him for an hour. And when they bowed their heads in that
Spike's
last
been member
prayer,
for 5 months. Does Andy
he
have a
began to
chance in the
shoot.
Democrat primary in 20?
These are
Possibly.
people like Ethel Lance,
Possibly.
who had just lost her daughter 2 years prior to breast cancer. But she would go around Mother Emanuel Church singing, "One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I ask of you. Give me the strength to do every day what I have to do." Tywanza Sanders, our youngest victim, had just graduated college. And on that night, he stood in front of his 87-year-old great Aunt Susie and looked at the killer and said, "You don't have to do this. We mean no harm to you." Or it was someone like Cynthia Hurd, whose life motto was simply to be kinder than necessary.
How many years ago was this? I forgot.
That's who these people were.
Was this like 10 years ago?
For Biden to show up there and give a political speech is offensive in itself. But the second thing I'll say is, I don't need someone who palled around with segregationists in the 70s and has said racist comments all the way through his career.
That's
lecturing
your
me
message?
or anyone in South Carolina about what it means to have racism, slavery, or anything related to the Civil War.
That's
So
your
with regard
message.
to this
Oh,
other story
Biden
that we
racist.
mentioned in the
He's the
in the
real
headlines,
racist.
Governor,
Freaking clown.
this mysterious situation around the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, who for several
2015?
days,
Yeah.
The White House didn't appear to know that he was
You
in
attack
intensive
Biden
care.
for it, but being the
We
real
just
racist,
learned
that's
moments
stupid.
ago that they are saying they don't know when he's going to be released from the hospital, which makes this mystery a little bit deeper. Do you believe the former president, Donald Trump, said today he thinks that Austin should be fired
He should.
over this? Do you agree?
I think Biden should be fired. This is unbelievable.
What?
That we have a situation
How's this
like
Biden's
this. When I
fault?
had a crisis in
The
South
Department of-
Carolina,
the
if we were
Secretary of
dealing
Defense-
with
or the
anything,
Department of Defense
and
didn't
I
say
had to deal
anything.
with my adjutant general, I was on the phone with him every day, twice a day. We have
You're
a war in
blaming
Europe. We have a
Biden
war in the
for
Middle
it.
East. North Korea tested an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of hitting the United States. China is on the march. First, I have a problem with
Dems
the
are the
fact
real
that Biden is
racist.
not talking to his Secretary of Defense every single day anyway. Secondly, is there not enough connection that he didn't even know he was put in the hospital in intensive care at that? And then to go and say, oh, but his deputy secretary knew what was going
Yeah,
on,
she's
but
just mad
she's
it's not called the
vacationing in
Secretary
Puerto
of
Rico.
Offense.
There
Yeah.
are so many things wrong with this, but the biggest one that bothers me, when I was at the UN, we knew the
That's a no
intel,
for
we knew
firing
the
now.
health of everybody in every country.
That's not Biden's
They
fault,
know
though. It's like with the
what's happening
Department
to
of Defense
Secretary
with
Austin.
Trump. They
What
lied to
bothers
him.
me is while our adversaries may know, our own president doesn't know. And
Secretary
these
of
things
Offense.
continue to happen, and it's why I say the one thing that keeps me up at night is what happens between now and Election Day, because Biden is making America very vulnerable and putting us at risk.
So on that issue
This
of national
sucks.
security, we're going to hear from our first questioner tonight. Jennifer is a stay-at-home mom from West Des Moines.
Let me guess,
she
Democrat.
has indicated that she's currently been looking at all the candidates. She's leaning towards Vivek Ramaswamy and caucusing for
Yeah!
him. But she's here tonight with a question for you, Governor Haley.
Actually,
Jennifer,
a
take it
base
away.
voter.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi there. Good evening. I am concerned about your national security policies. Please explain to us how you will put the United States first. And additionally, I'm wondering how you can continue to send money to Ukraine where they're really not accounting for how they're spending all of our billions of dollars.
That's a good question.
It's a great question. And, you know, for anybody that questions why we should care about Ukraine, that's a legitimate question for you to ask. The problem is no one is giving you the answer. And I blame Biden for all of that. He should always
Vivek
tell Americans
supporter.
why we're doing what we're doing. The reason we care about Ukraine, and I'll be the first one to say, I don't think we
No
should
video, I
give any
can't. Fox
country,
News.
friend or foe, cash, because you can't follow it and you can't hold it accountable. I don't think we need to put troops on the ground in Ukraine, and Ukraine doesn't want them because they want to be able to win it
bull
themselves.
crap, they don't want
but
them.
what I saw at the United Nations,
She's lying.
terrorists, thugs, and dictators always tell us what they're going to do. They're amazingly transparent. Hamas said they were going to go into Israel. They did. China said they were going to take Hong Kong. It happened.
Well, to be fair, that
Russia
happened-
said they were
yeah.
going to invade Ukraine. We watched it. China said Taiwan is next. We better believe it. Russia said once they take Ukraine, Poland and the Baltics are next.
No,
Those are
he
NATO
didn't.
countries. That puts America at war.
He's not gonna
This
invade-
is about preventing war. It's always been about preventing
The
war.
question
My
asker we better
husband
nominate
is a
than Haley.
combat veteran. He's deployed now. The last thing I want him or any of his military brothers and sisters to do is to go to war. But to avoid going to war, you have to prevent it. And just to support Ukraine,
by sending more troops.
it only
Oh,
costs
my God.
3.5% of our defense budget. That's
Only.
it. Europeans have paid more, and they should. It's in their neighborhood.
Oh, bull
But
crap.
this is about preventing
What do you mean
war.
we pay-
and we
bruh.
have to make sure that we do everything we can to keep Americans
Only
safe
3.5%.
and to keep our national security safe.
But as a percentage of GDP, we're the largest supporter of the war in Ukraine. And what we're seeing in terms of polling on this is that it's declined 9 points over the course of the last year in your party of people who say that we should continue to
He's not
that they
gonna go to war
favor
with NATO. Yeah, that'd be
continuing
stupid.
funding the Ukraine military. Are you concerned that since Trump and DeSantis and Ramaswamy are on the other side of this, they are more concerned about security at home than abroad, that you might be on the wrong side of this issue in your party?
No, because polling isn't what guides me. That shows that Biden should be communicating
That's the
more
dumbest
why this
thing I've ever
happens.
heard.
If people knew
90%
this
of
prevented
people
war,
think, you know,
they
Ukraine's
would
bad, but
absolutely
Ukraine
want to
good.
do this. I mean, what we know now is there's a reason the Taiwanese want the West and U.S. to help the Ukrainians, because they know if
3.5%
Ukraine
is 30
wins,
billion.
China
Yeah, that's a
won't
lie.
invade Taiwan.
We spent, I think, $100 billion
We need to
on
remember
it.
that before Russia invaded Ukraine, China and Russia held hands and named themselves unlimited partners.
Yeah, it's
we
not
need to know what
3.5%,
that means.
she's
A
lying.
win for Russia is a win for China. This is about preventing war. I will never do things based on a poll. What I will do is over-communicate to every American so they know why
Over-communicate.
things matter. Why are we doing what we're doing? And the fact that we don't go out
America
there and just
first.
help
Yeah, this is
countries for
America
the sake
first,
of it.
everybody.
We do it when we know it
Let's
keeps
send
Americans
billions
safe, and we
to
do it
some
when
corrupt
we
third
know
world
it protects it. Prevents war. I think that DeSantis is wrong for calling this a territorial dispute.
It
I
is.
think that Trump has copped out because he used to get it right, and now he's turning around and he's getting it
What?
wrong, wanting to be an isolationist. We need to remember
Trump's not being.
that America
Oh, my
always
sweet
needs
Lord.
friends. We needed a lot of friends on September 12th. But you got to be a friend to get a friend.
Ukraine was never our friends.
Governor, Jenny is, thank you, an artist from Urbandale.
An
Where are you,
artist.
Jenny? This says, Jenny, that
Democrat.
you're still undecided who you'll caucus for. Just 6 days to go. Is that right? It is.
Yeah,
true.
that's right.
Okay. You're leaning towards somebody?
No, I'm
Really undecided.
really undecided.
Okay.
between
So what's your
4
question? for Governor
Democrat.
Howe?
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, thanks for taking my
An
question.
artist.
I watch the news a lot every day, and I watch how many people are pouring over the border. And I keep wondering, how are we, as the United States, supposed to provide housing, medical care, food, education for all of these people? And then if we deport them, how do we pay for that as well?
We're not
What?
supposed to. And your question is exactly what I think every American is worried about. And it's not
How
just
much
the
we
southern
should
border,
pay
it's
for
the
them?
northern border, too. I mean, you look at the fact that we have had 8 million
copy Ramaswamy.
illegal
Thank
immigrants
you.
come to that border. Biden sent back only 142,000 last year. That's
Well,
it.
I'm leaning towards
We've
Dean
had more
Phillips.
fentanyl across the border that would kill every single American. Number 1 cause of death for adults 18 to 45, fentanyl. And don't think for a
Just
second
copied
China doesn't know
Ramaswamy.
what they're doing when they send it over. If we want to deal with this, we have to deal with it once and for all. No more excuses. And that means more than just building a wall. We need to do more than
artist
that.
is cooking.
When I was governor, I passed one of the toughest illegal immigration laws in the country. Obama sued me over it. We need to carry that nationwide. We'll do a national E-Verify program where businesses have to prove that the people they hire
Wait,
are in this
E-Verify? Wait a
country
minute.
legally. We'll put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE
Okay,
agents on the ground and
Haley's
let them
cooking
do
for
their
once.
job. They're not letting them
Hold
do
up.
their job right now. We
Haley
will
actually cooked
defund
right there.
sanctuary cities once and for all so that there are no
E-Verify is
safe
good.
havens
That's kinda
for any
generic now.
illegal immigrants. We will go back to the Remain in Mexico policy so they never step foot on U.S. soil to start with. And instead of catch and
Wall the
release,
build.
we'll go to catch and deport. And for all of those that have come over, as cruel as it sounds, you got to send them back. We have to send them back because if we don't send them back, it is an incentive for others to come in. Biden gave 500,000 Venezuelans temporary protective status. That's 500,000 Social Security numbers. That's 500,000 driver's licenses. I saw at the UN what that
Let her
does.
cook.
They pick up the phone and they call their family members and they tell them to come on. Not only that, they're cutting the line of those people who were trying to do it the right way. We are a country of laws. The second we
No,
stop
really?
being a country of
We're a
laws,
country
we
of
give up
anarchism. What are
everything
you
this country
talking
was
about?
founded on. We need to secure the border. We need to build the wall.
I'm
We
leaning
need to
towards chunky
deport
yogurt.
anybody that doesn't come here the right way. And we need to start thinking of, again,
Deport them.
national security. America right now is acting like it's September 10th. We better remember what September 12th felt like, because it only takes
sorry
one
about that.
person.
Governor, former President Trump's campaign is out with an ad today that says that you are too weak and too liberal to deal with the immigration issue. And
She
the border.
is.
It
She's
says
actually
that
had a good
refused
point
to call
for
illegal
once.
immigrants criminals and was opposed to Trump's border wall. What's your response to that?
My response is, why did Obama sue me for passing one of the toughest illegal immigration laws in the country? Look, just because President Trump says
I
something
signed something
doesn't make
20
it
years
true.
ago.
First of all, I appreciate all the attention President Trump is giving me. It is quite sweet and thoughtful of him, but he's lying about it. And I'll tell you the reason he's lying about it is because he's taking snippets of things I said. I said you shouldn't
political guy for
just
two. Out of
do
curiosity,
the border
what's
wall.
stream
You
software to
have to
use?
do more than
OBS.
that. That's what I said.
Usually
From the
OBS.
second I was governor of South Carolina, we fought against illegal
Why does she keep
immigration.
saying that
We fought
September
against the
10th shit?
Syrian
'Cause she's
refugees. We
cringe.
fought against
She think
Guantanamo
it's
Bay prisoners
2002.
coming. We fought every single second because we cannot have people who have not come here the right way. My parents came here the right way. We are blessed to take care of my parents. They are 87 and 90. And whenever I have dinner with my mom, she still says, are those people still
pauses
crossing
so
the
her
border?
four supporters can
They are
clap.
offended by what's happening. And my mom would always say, if they don't follow the laws to come to this country, they won't follow the
That's
laws when they
disrespectful
get
to
to this
9/11
country.
victims. I agree.
So you're also
Not
getting
everything's
heat for not
9/11.
being conservative enough,
This is
or
literally
a
the
true
Family Guy
conservative
scene
from
where
DeSantis.
Lois was
He has a
like
new ad
9/11.
out saying
Yeah.
that Hillary Clinton was your inspiration. And he plays a number of videos where you say, yes, you know, we differed on certain issues, but she inspired me to get into politics. I saw her speak at a leadership institute. I walked out the door and I made my decision to get into politics. You're shaking your head.
No, because I mean,
What?
look, DeSantis is desperate. He's lying because he's
Oh,
losing.
bull
But
crap,
that's
she's not-
the-
he's lying.
The problem is if
We
you
know
have
about
to lie
this
to
for
win, you
years.
don't deserve to win. I never said Hillary Clinton was an inspiration. What I said when I was
gotta
talking
fact
to
check
a
this.
group of women who were looking at running for office, I said the same thing about her that I said about Sarah Palin. And that is, when I was looking to run, everybody told me why I couldn't do it. They said, you're too young. They said, you have small children. Oh, you should start at the school board level. And I went to a women's leadership forum at Furman University. And one
Yeah,
of
she
the
did
speakers
say
happened to
that.
be Hillary Clinton. And I have never agreed with a
See.
single thing Hillary Clinton has ever said. And I said that too, but Ron forgot to put that in the ad.
I'm gonna
But
pull
what
it
I'll
on.
tell
It's
you
on
is,
tape. Yeah, I got it right
she
here.
ended it
I
by
got the
saying,
quote
for
pulled up.
every reason they tell you not
Please
to run,
clap.
that's exactly the reason you should. And I left there and said, that's it, I'm running for office. I had never been politically active. I had never been involved in politics.
I
So
wish you
they
never
can
ran.
twist and turn
Yeah.
this all they want, but it's because they see what we see. We're surging in the polls, not just in Iowa, not just in New Hampshire,
went
not
down in
just in
Iowa.
South Carolina. But I'll say that's the problem with politicians. Rather than talking about what they can do, they just want to talk up and make things up that they are saying that I said. I'm happy to dispute it every day of the week. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be talking about inflation and our economy and education, how we have to go back to the basics
it
and
actually
get our
ran for
kids reading
office
again,
because of Hillary
about a
Clinton.
border that's
Yeah.
out of control, about the fact that we need law and order back in this country and that we need a strong America that we can be proud
I'm
of
going to
again.
pull up
And
this
that's what
clip.
I'm going to
Or
stay
I'm gonna pull up this
focused on.
quote.
Governor, we have a lot more questions on those very topics. When we come back, we will talk about a lot of those topics
Orange
with Governor
Man.
Haley coming up.
Okay, so that wasn't the worst part of the town hall. I mean, let's face it, last week's town hall it broke the counter, but it still wasn't that good. So I have the quote right here. All right? I got the quote right here. I'm going to say it. Okay, let's see here. This is what she said in July of 2020. You know, I often say that the reason I got into politics because, believe it or not, I don't agree with anything that she has to say, but it was because of Hillary Clinton. I was at a Furman Institute event for women, and she was the one that said that for all the reasons people tell you, you shouldn't run. Those are the reasons you should. And I walked out of there and decided to run for the state house. That's what she said. They're trying to make it sound like, oh, I didn't agree with her on policy. You're using identity politics as a reason why she wants to run. That's what she said. She literally said, so I'm going to run for office because I'm a woman. What does that sound like to you? Gee, that sounds like a true patriot conservative and all this other stuff. Who will replace Caramel? I'm hoping for, not DePerno's not going to run, but maybe somebody like Perry Johnson? Breaking Orange Man bad. Yeah. Nick is copying Lois from Family Guy when Lois said 9/11 was bad. Yeah. That's what's happening here. Iowa, vote for me because my son supports your college football team now. Ron DeSantis, unironically. Well, to be fair, did he say Iowa State or Iowa? Because I think he said Iowa State. The Cyclones. Haley is a dumb blonde. Well, she's not even a blonde. So, I won't really even say that, but I guess you could say it, but talk about the Epstein stuff. So I will say this, okay? Let me be clear. If Trump was proven to actually have done the stuff that was alleged, I will not support him. But I've been doing research on the timeline of like when the stuff happened, and I can confirm to everybody. The reason that these recent allegations don't work is 3 things. 1, she admitted back in 2019 that these allegations were fabricated. So she's not trustworthy. 2, her claims are so outlandish and absurd that not a single person, none of the other victims, have been able to collaborate those claims. Prove that they happened. She's the only one to say it. And number 3, and this is the most important thing, in my opinion, the timeline doesn't work. She allegedly got, how do I say this? She allegedly got she was, how do I say this without getting banned? She met Epstein in late 2006. All right, we'll just say that. She started, quote unquote, working for him in early 2007. We know Trump hasn't flew on any of his planes since the early 90s. And him and Epstein had a falling out at the latest of 2004. So 3 years before it allegedly happened, Trump and Epstein hated each other. And that was a year before Trump banned him from Mar-a-Lago. So why would he ban him from Mar-a-Lago, have a falling out with him over a mansion, I believe, in Palm Beach, and allegedly get back involved with it? So the whole thing doesn't make much sense on that surface. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, this is definitely probably BS, or at least she may have gotten confused. I don't know. All right, back to the town hall.
Presidential candidate, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley.
Only 9,000 cringe.
So we are going to go straight to our next questioner. Dan is a small business owner.
Dan.
He voted for Trump in 2020, but he says he is considering Haley this time around, and he's open to all of the candidates.
Cringe.
So, Governor, here's your opportunity to convince Dan. Dan, what's your question tonight?
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Governor Haley. My question is, inflation is soaring, and multiple states are implementing higher minimum wages, which will only exacerbate cost of goods and job growth even more.
Lord.
What can you realistically do as president to combat this, or is there no going back?
Minimum wage?
There's going back. They just may not like the going back and what that looks like. I mean, first of all, you look, and as much as I would love to say Biden did this to us, our Republicans did this to us too.
Hold
you
on.
look back at that $2.2 trillion COVID stimulus bill that they
Hold on.
passed with no accountability.
Is she
We now
gonna
have
say what I'm
80
thinking
million
she's about to
Americans
say
on
about
Medicaid,
minimum wage?
42 million Americans on food stamps. That's a third
Oh,
of our
man.
country.
It's Dan
And did
Crenshaw.
Republicans try and make it right? Nope. They opened up earmarks and pet projects for the first time in 10 years, pushing through 7,000 of them last December. Want to know how they spent
does
their money?
nothing.
$30 million on an honors college in Vermont. $10 million to
That's not
tear
gonna
down a
solve the
hotel in
deficit.
Alaska. $7.5 million on a courthouse in Colorado. And the list goes on.
That's not
In the
that bad.
2024 appropriations budget, Republicans put in $7.4 billion worth of pet projects and earmarks. Democrats put in $2.8 billion.
We spend
So
more
now
on
you
Ukraine
tell me
per
who the
minute
big
than we do on
spenders are.
that.
All while 1 in 6 American families can't pay their utility bill. 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 50% of American families can't afford diapers. Social Security
wanna
will go bankrupt
decrease
in
the
10 years.
minimum wage?
Medicare will go bankrupt in 8. So what we have to do is realize there are no saints in Washington that got us into this. Stimuluses never work. Debt never works.
It
Everybody
questionable
talks
minimum
about how great the
wage.
economy
What is
was under
this?
Trump. But at what cost? He put us $8 trillion in debt in just 4 years.
Gee, I wonder
Our
what
kids will
happened with the
never
debt
forgive
that
us
happened
for
in 2020.
That's not
Gee,
how you
what
improve an
happened
economy.
then?
What we will do is we will stop the spending. We'll
2020
stop the
never
borrowing,
happened,
we'll
everybody. It
eliminate
was
the
all in
earmarks,
2 years.
And I'll veto any spending bill that doesn't take us back to pre-COVID levels. We will go and take
Pre-COVID,
as
so what's
many
the point?
federal programs as we can and send them down to the state level. That will reduce the size of the federal government,
That's not how
but
it's-
it will empower people on the ground.
But
And
it-
then we will focus
hold
on
on,
the
but the
middle
states
class.
have control
Right
over
now,
it.
the
Wouldn't that
middle
just
class, we're
increase the
watching the rich get
government
richer
of the
and the poor
states?
get poorer.
What?
We're going to go and eliminate the gas and diesel tax in this country. And then we're going to make sure we cut taxes on the middle class and simplify those
Oh,
brackets.
but you're worried
and
about the debt.
finally, we're going to make the small business tax cuts permanent. They made them temporary. They made the corporate tax cuts permanent. I grew up in a small business. Small businesses
What
are
is
the
this
heartbeat
logic?
of our economy. But we can't just say it, we have to prove it. So when we start to focus on
This
the
logic
spending
is
that's
stupid.
happening, and I will do it in every one of our agencies, is make sure we take them back to what their core mission is, get all these old
We'll stop
programs down, get
spending.
all this federal regulation down, get all of this extra
after this,
bureaucracy
town
down.
hall, I'm gonna go
That's how we
economics
will
mode,
start
'cause
to
I'm gonna explain
get
to people
our
why this is
financial
stupid.
situation back on track, and that's why I think we need an accountant in the White House.
Well, Michelle is of the same mindset as far as her job. She's a financial advisor. She's from West Des Moines. It says here that you're undecided, Michelle. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm going to make my final decision after tomorrow night's town hall.
Okay, you have a question for the governor.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
What
nice
about
to see you
Trump,
again.
bruh?
And you've already led
Love
into
the
some of
cringe
this,
counter.
but most
Yeah.
Americans are counting on Social Security benefits during their retirement years. But as you highlighted, current projections show that Social Security, as we know it today, is no longer sustainable. What changes, should you become president, would you make so Americans can be confident in the future that Social Security will
Up
be
the age
there
for
for
50 years.
First, acknowledge what I just said, that it's going to go bankrupt in 10 years.
Here we go.
Medicare will go bankrupt in 8. Every one of my opponents, every single one, has said they're not going to touch Social Security and Medicare.
Here we go.
Do you know what that means? That means they're actually going to go and become president and serve 4 or 8 years and leave it bankrupt. That's irresponsible. What I will tell you is we've got an issue. We need to fix it. And the way we fix it is no
going
one
up
has
slowly.
to worry that you're going to lose what you paid in or what you gave. America should always keep her promises, and we have to live by that.
Oh,
but what we will do
after this
is
town
make
hall, I'm gonna go-
changes
I'm
to
gonna
those like my
expose
kids in
this,
their
by the way.
20s, those coming into the system. We will change their retirement age to reflect life expectancy. We will change
She
rather than
said
doing
it.
cost of living increases, we'll
Electability,
do
everybody.
increases based on inflation. We will limit the benefits on the wealthy, and we'll
That's fine.
expand Medicare Advantage plans that seniors love that create competition.
That's
Once
fine.
we do that, we'll know
Say
exactly
stuff like
what
that.
we're dealing with. We're not going to put our head in the sand. If anything, we're going to get in front of the issue and fix it so
In
that you
front of
never
the
have
issue?
to worry about not having it. But also, let's fix it so that our kids can have it too. Right now,
Again,
they know they're
her-
not going to have it.
she does not understand
Let's
how
make
Social
the
Security
changes to
works.
be responsible. That's
doesn't
how
make
you
any
deal with it.
sense.
You don't just do what's politically popular by saying, I'm not going to touch any of those things. That's irresponsible.
You gotta
We
be
do
kidding
have
me.
to do it, but we don't have to hurt people to do it. We just have to get in front of people.
So,
to get it done.
Governor DeSantis is hitting you for claiming the retirement age is, quote, way, way too low. He said, quote, I don't know why she's saying that. So are you saying that? Where do
I
you
have
stand on that?
never once said that.
Well, wait. In Bloomberg interview, you said anyone who says they'll leave America bankrupt, Social Security will go bankrupt, Medicare will, so we don't touch anyone's retirement, but go to people like my kids in their 20s and tell them the rules haven't changed. Change the retirement age to reflect life expectancy.
Yes, for those in their 20s. But I have never said retirement age is way too low for everyone else. I mean, he's totally misrepresenting the facts. That's what he's done. Ron continues
I got
to
right
lie
here.
because he's losing. But the reality is, that is what I have always said, is
I
America
gotta
should
find
keep
it.
her promises every time. But rather than saying you're not going to touch it, like Ron says, we have to touch it. But we have to also be honest and over-communicate with those in their 20s that this is what we're going to do. But if we do this, we'll make sure you have something to go forward with. And it's also letting seniors and those in their 40s and 50s know, don't worry, we're not looking to touch yours. We're looking to actually save it so that you have something when your time comes.
Okay, take a listen to this, the former president.
Nikki would sell you out just like she sold me out. I mean, I'll never run against him. He's a great
Big
president. Why
Trump.
would I run? Ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to run.
What do you say to the former president about, he says you betrayed him, that you sold him out because you promised him you would never run against him?
So she wants to raise the retirement age. She wants to jack it up.
I will tell you, when I said that I would never run against him, we hadn't had the debacle in Afghanistan. We hadn't had inflation go through the roof. And we didn't lose the midterms by ridiculous numbers. And I campaigned for a lot of candidates,
We
House
just
and Senate
disappointed.
and governor's races on those, and we were devastated when we lost the midterms. But I'll also tell you this. What he won't tell you is, when I decided to run, I called him. And I called him for two reasons. One, because it was the right thing to do. He had given me the job. And two, because I wanted him to know I was in it to win it. And I told him then we needed a new generational leader. I told him then we needed to leave the negativity and the baggage behind. And I stand by that. Look, I think President Trump was the right president.
That doesn't mean you didn't backstab him. Yes, I told him right to his face he sucked.
I agree with a lot of his policies.
Right after I announced.
But rightly or wrongly, chaos follows him. And y'all know I'm right. Chaos follows him.
Oh, my sweet Lord.
And we can't be a country in disarray.
Joe Day of the
and
American
world on
First
fire
Patriot.
and go through 4 more years of chaos. We won't survive
need
it.
Trump.
You don't fix Democrat chaos with Republican chaos. And not only that, we can't go through another nail-biter of an election. We can't. And if you look at the head-to-head polls,
did she just say she didn't kill polling? Wait a minute.
Biden by 2 points. Wall Street Journal.
Wait, hold up.
4. I'm in every one of those same polls.
She just said polling doesn't matter.
By 17 points. 17 points. Do you know what that means?
You're not winning by Reagan margins.
That's more than the presidency. That's governorships, that's House, that's Senate, that's all the way down to
two
school
governorships
board.
next year.
More than that, you go in with a double-digit win over Biden in D.C., that's a mandate to get our out-of-control spending back on track. That's a mandate to make sure our kids are reading and get our education back to the basics.
Lord.
That's a mandate to secure our borders with no more excuses, and that's a mandate to bring law and order back to our country.
If I may, but that's if you get to the general election. Right now, you're 30 points down from
If she gets to the general election.
Trump. And some people, you've got a lot of momentum. A lot of very big donors have come to your side because they think that you're the one who could take him down.
There we
and
go.
some of them criticize you for not going after him hard enough. They say you talk about
man,
chaos
listen to her,
following
make
him,
me
but
lose
that you're
brain
too
cells.
careful about your approach. What do you say?
What I've always said, and what's still true, pro-Trumpers don't think I love Trump enough. Anti-Trumpers don't think I hate him enough. And I don't hate him.
What?
I told you, I think he was the right president at the right time. But any policy that comes up, I'm going to tell you exactly where I stand on that policy. But politics isn't personal for me. And that's actually been what's wrong with politics for so long, is they make it about personalities. The reason I'm doing this, I don't want my kids to live like this. We've got to stop with this hatred back and forth. We've got to stop with these divisions. I don't have resentment
What is she even
for President
talking
Trump,
about?
but I don't think he should be the next president going forward. And I'm happy
She's
to
not
tell
real.
you all the
She
reasons
can't
I
be
think
real.
that is.
We
She's
obviously just got
absolutely
through the anniversary of January 6th. Do you agree with Democrats and people like Liz Cheney, who say former President Trump is a threat to democracy?
I mean, what I think the American people can decide this. And so what I have said is, he said January 6th was a beautiful day. I think January 6th was a terrible day. I hope we never see that happen again.
She'll win
and so
Pennsylvania
that's
20.
the focus we should
That's
have.
what she's alleging.
I believe the American people, and I trust the American people. And all of these people who are trying to tell, whether it's Iowans or Granite Staters or South Carolinians, what they're going to do before they've even done it.
Goodness.
Everybody's tired of that. Talk to the people of Iowa.
Should take
They're
Republicans down
still
Bell if she
making
was a
up their
nominee.
mind right
Yeah.
now. So for y'all to say that Trump is 30 points up, I would say wait until caucus day. Because that's the only
meme is
thing
real.
that's really going to show where
The meme is
Americans
real.
are.
Hold up. Pull it up,
All right,
somebody.
Governor, we have many more questions from our audience
Just
here.
wait
When we
for the
come
delegates
back,
to
how
vote for
Governor Haley would
conscience.
navigate the challenging issue of abortion on the national
boy.
stage.
Okay. She may break the record. This town hall is pathetic. This is just... All right, let's see if we have any super chats. Nope, nothing. Okay. Just I'm making sure I didn't miss anyone. Nope. Wait until the caucus. She said the thing. What a clown. Unfreaking believable. Wait till the caucuses. Debunk time. Social Security. Just think about this for a second. What she's claiming. Social Security is going to run out in 8 years. That's what she's claiming. Just think about this for a second. Her proposal is raise the retirement age for those that are 20 years or younger. That's 40 years down the line. So wait a minute. If your reforms don't take place for 40 years, Social Security still runs out in 8. And that's the just basic math, common sense. It's like, you think that's not going to change? Or you think it's going to magically save Social Security? Social Security is saved. I don't know. Yeah. Don't know. Man milk for €2 chud. Nikki Haley will win DC. Trust LTE. Yeah. Yeah. Somehow I miss Chris Christie. At least Christie's town halls were memes and funny. This is just pathetic. These town halls keep getting worse by the day. They're just becoming more deranged. At least Chris Christie understands he's down by 50. And he's just running because he wants to screw Trump over. So, I'd rather vote for Biden than Nikki Haley. Yeah. Hey, Rep, how about the Cowboys? The Packers are going to get crushed this weekend, but we made the playoffs, so that's all that matters for me. Jeans. Junior Chud. What? I don't get that. Oh, Green Bay who gets Dallas, we're going to get crushed. Haley can win Vermont. That's basically what she's saying. She's going to win Vermont. Chris Christie's better than Nikki Haley. I miss Christie's history lessons. Yeah, at least those, in hindsight, were just funny. Let's see. Save the jeans. What? Pant? I don't get what you mean by that. I don't get it. I'm really confused. Like, what's even happening? Oh, some LT Sims came in here and chat on literally everything because he's cringe. Oh, okay. I get it. Did Detroit really win that game against Dallas? Yes, they won. They got screwed. Absolutely screwed. I miss Christie's chair. I wonder how that chair is doing, by the way. Hopefully it's recovered. Probably hasn't, but. Oh, and he used. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah, I get that. I remember. Let's see here. Dallas Cowboys won that game, yeah. Cowboys won. Or not Cowboys. Detroit won. Cowboys won, in quotation. All right, so we're gonna we're almost here to the town hall. We're almost back, surely. My power went out. What did I miss? First of all, hope your power's back. But second of all, just Nikki Haley breaking the cringe counter. we're reaching levels we haven't seen since last week. So, okay, we're back.
Welcome back to Iowa, everybody, and our town hall tonight with Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley. We're going to talk now a little bit about family values and issues including abortion. And we have our first question
from Sue in Des Moines. Sue, you have made up your mind or haven't made up your mind?
I'm getting there.
You're getting there. So maybe you're leaning
Democrat.
towards the governor here?
Yes.
Okay. Let's, what's your question for governor?
All the Sims except like one.
As a college-educated mom of 7, I am concerned about my young adult and teenage children coming of age in a society that no longer values life and the institution of the family or trusts in higher education.
Trust in higher education?
America's family, one mom to another.
What?
Love that question, and you're super mom at that. You know, I'll tell you.
Trust in
me,
higher
I've always
education.
said
Oh, good Lord.
and you'll relate to this. If I'm a good mom and a good wife, I'll be a good governor. If I'm a good mom and a good wife, I'll be a good ambassador. If I'm a good mom and a good wife, I'll be a good president. When my kids were little, even when I was governor, I would still be home 5 days a week to have dinner with them because I thought the family dinner mattered. Sundays were our days. We always were together on Sunday, and Friday nights were Haley
family stuff was fine, but then she said our
I think
family.
right now
America's
what we need to do is,
like
one, it's okay to
something.
have God in your life and say that. I mean, I think I walk by faith, not by sight, and I think we should never be afraid to say that. You know, I always go back to the day before, the Saturday before the Mother Emanuel shooting that was so devastating. I called for a state day of prayer, and I was vilified for it. And I thought it was so important because at that time there was a lot of toxicity from the Obama administration and division. We were feeling what was happening. And I thought that it was important.
What is happening?
Now I think it was divine. The fact that we had that day of prayer before one of the worst shootings that our country had ever seen.
Why do you bring this up?
I think God saved us. You know, there was a reason on the heels of Ferguson that we didn't have riots. We had there's a reason that we didn't have protests. We had prayer.
Did you just say it happened before the shootings and it saved?
I think that we have to always do that, especially now going forward. You look at our kids; they have more anxiety, stress, and depression than we've seen ever.
What am I missing?
We need to be there for them, and we need to make sure that they know that there are places that they can go that will show them that your faith can get you through this. Am I
hearing things?
Or guidance can get you through this, and so that's what we want to do is make sure that it's always about faith, family, and country. That's what it used to be. Our parents would raise us to be strong individuals.
Yeah, she's the electable
candidate. We would go to school and we would learn what we needed to be successful. We would go to church and we'd find our faith.
I don't know what she's talking about. There's a day of prayer before the shooting saved us?
But you have not you said you wouldn't support, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, a 6-week federal ban if it were to go into place. Ron DeSantis has said that, you know, you are too moderate on this issue.
That's not what I said. What I said is be honest with the American people. The only way a federal ban will pass is if you have a majority of the House, 60 Senate votes, and a signature of a president. We haven't had 60 senators in over 100 years. We may have 45 pro-life senators. So instead of demonizing this issue, the fellas just don't know how to talk about it. Instead of demonizing this issue, you have to humanize this issue and understand that everybody has a story. Our overall goal should be how do we save as many babies as possible and support as many moms
Democrats
as possible.
everything they want.
That way you take away all the divisions.
What she's
Democrats have used fear in women when it comes to this issue. Republicans have used judgment. This is too personal of an issue to use fear
Okay, I'll
or
give her
judgment.
that. That is
we
true.
We need to talk about it in a way that's saving babies and supporting moms. And whatever 60 senators
Some
bring to me,
quote-unquote religious
level,
leaders, they have
we
done
will
that.
support, because the only
I'll
way
give
we're
her
going to do
that.
it is if we find
They
consensus
use,
on the federal level.
you're going to damnation
And I
if you
think
get
we
an
will find
abortion at 1
consensus
week.
on
It's like,
banning late-term
no.
abortions. I think we'll find consensus on
Late-term, okay.
expanding
At least you
adoption and
said
good
that.
quality adoptions. I think we'll find consensus that doctors and nurses who don't
my
believe in
fellows.
abortions shouldn't have to perform them. I think we'll find consensus on the fact that contraception should be accessible. And I think we'll find consensus that no state law should say to a woman that gets an abortion
Well,
that she's going
depends
to
what you're
jail or
talking
getting the
about.
death
If it's the
penalty.
magical pill,
That's where
no,
we will
it's
find
banned.
consensus.
All right, Terry. Terry is a
Terry.
retired farmer from Dallas County. Have you made your decision?
I've narrowed it down to the candidates that we've seen here in Iowa that speak from the heart rather than a teleprompter written by somebody else.
Okay.
And who are those candidates?
Yeah, who's that?
Who are the candidates?
Yeah, who are you narrowed down to?
One is standing on stage right now, smiling, speaking from the heart.
Well, what's your
And,
question for the governor?
I've heard DeSantis, I liked him. I've liked Vivek, but I'm
there.
a proud grandpa. I know you're a proud mom. Let's talk about education.
Yes.
So tell me what differs you from the others. It gets us back to from the other candidates in the Republican Party. It gets us back to reading, writing, and arithmetic rather than guns and fentanyl.
What worries me about education is right
Actually,
now in
a decent
America,
question.
only 31% of 8th graders in our country are proficient in reading. Only 27% of 8th graders are proficient in math. If we don't do something and do something quickly, we're going to be in a world of hurt 10
TDS.
years from now. And remember when I told you we wanted to take those federal programs and send them down to the state level? That includes education. We need to make sure we go back to the basics.
I don't know
We've
what's
got to make sure that
happening.
our kids are learning reading,
Love
writing,
guns.
history, science, math, art.
Oh yeah, what?
and
Did he say
that's it.
guns? I
We
thought he
don't
said
need to get
fentanyl. I was
these
like,
federal
okay, that's
programs.
fine.
And what happens
Did he
is when
say
they started to
guns?
get it too big with federal, we've seen it from Common Core. We saw it with No Child Left Behind. They became bigger things that got away from the basics of education. When you send this down to the states, the resources that the states have, they can decide
fine with
where
that,
they
but
need
there's
to
still
go.
some
So, for
oversight.
example, I want to put
Can you imagine
vocational
California running
classes
their
back into
education
our high
system? They
schools.
do,
We need to
but-
teach our kids how to be a part of the economy before they get out of school. Vocational classes in Iowa would be very different than vocational classes in South Carolina. Let the states decide that. When you go and you look at these other things that D.C. has decided are good for our
said
states,
fentanyl and
that's the
guns.
problem. What I want to make
Bruh.
sure of is that when we move those programs down, we make it more state-centric. Secondly, we should have complete transparency in the classroom. No parent should ever wonder what their child is learning in the classroom. Every syllabus
Generic.
should be online for every parent to see. And every parent should choose where their child goes to school and what mode of education they have, because a parent knows best. And finally, I will say, we have to grow strong girls in this country. And strong girls become strong women.
about
strong
str-
women become strong leaders. And
Oh,
none of that
hell
happens
no,
if we
no,
have
no, we're
biological
done.
boys
No,
playing in
no,
girls'
no,
sports.
I'd
We've
sure
got to
all.
cut that out.
What about strong men?
Let's bring in Steph Harold.
Why
who
is it always,
retired
we need
from
strong
West
women?
Des
What about
Moines.
strong men? What about
Hi,
strong
Steph.
fathers? What about strong
Get a
leaders?
Microphone over to you. There we go.
It's just
Hello,
freaking,
Ambassador.
she's
Hi,
just
Steph.
And
Democrat.
please thank your husband for his service.
Thank you.
I am very excited that you are wanting to bring up and tackle term limits. Exactly how do you propose to
Yeah.
do this, since I can't imagine that most in Congress would want to shorten their stay?
It's very true. You know, not only do I want to see term limits, I want to see mental competency tests for anyone over the age of 75.
Hey, I'll give you that.
And
I
I'm
support
not
that.
being disrespectful when I say that. We all know people over 75 that would run circles around us. Senator Grassley's a perfect example of that. But then we know Joe Biden. And right now, Congress has become the most privileged nursing home in the country. These are people making decisions on our national security. These are people making decisions on the future of our economy.
Why
We
doesn't she
need to
ever
know
attack
they're at the
Roe?
top
If
of
you're
their
gonna bring
game.
up the- you'll have-
And yes, I'm a strong advocate for term limits. The way we would deal with that, no
Haley's a
Congress
strong
isn't going to vote on
female.
it. So we're going to build them up to it. I will have a Haley term limits pledge that everyone needs to sign when they decide to run for office, incumbent or otherwise. And we will find out where they are on term limits. And then I'm going to give that
can't
information to
force
the
people to
American
sign
people
it.
so that you know to ask that elected official about it and you know where they stand. And then when we get enough term limit pledges into Congress, that's when we will go and vote on it to make sure that we get term limits back in D.C. We will do it from the outside in rather than the inside out.
All right, Governor, thank you. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here, and when we come back, we will talk about the future of America. A lot to talk about there.
A lot to talk about. We'll be right back.
Listen, I don't care who you are. When you start bringing up stuff like, we need strong women and strong leaders, why did nobody talk about we need strong men? I mean, seriously. Why is everybody just ignoring half the country like that? You need strong men. You need strong fathers. You can't just say, oh, women, because women good, men bad. This is the problem. It's like, does she not understand what she's saying? Real talk, what if Becky Edwards became senator in 2025? Not good. Who's worse, Haley or Hillary? We're getting to a point where I don't know. We are down like below Biden. I would vote for Biden willingly over her. This is how bad it's getting. At least Biden, I understand he's just senile. She's just nuts. Yeah, the girl boss stuff is cringe. I agree with that. This is bad. What about RFK? I'm just saying, if the 1v1, I can't have anybody write, I can't write anybody in, I have to vote for one of the two, I would vote for Biden. Who's worse? I'm going to say Haley. At least with Biden, you could say he's trying to avoid World War III. But yeah. Robeson is worse than Haley. She's up there. But who's doing more damage? I think Haley is. It just, how can you go around saying, yeah, so women are good, men are bad? You give Biden too much credit, right? I'm giving him credit for at least trying. He's not trying to purposely start stuff. So. Haley versus Becky Edwards. Oh, I just wouldn't vote. At that point in time, I'm not voting. No, I meant her versus Hillary in foreign policy. It's a tie. I mean, both want World War III. Both want to start shit. It's like, what's the difference? When you go around saying, we need strong women, screw the men. That's Democrat pandering 101. Chief constituent for 2. Haley over Biden because voting Biden means President of the United States Harris. Well, Harris is not liked in the administration. So that's why I'm saying I don't think they're going to force him out. They may force her out, but yeah. Don't know. Nikki Haley or Chris Christie easily. At least he's funny, and at least he kind of has a brain. Let's see. I wouldn't go that far. Biden's still worse in my opinion. I think Haley's worse. At least Biden has done 2 good things as president. The CHIPS Act and the expanded child tax credit. So. Obama's de facto president. Yeah. At that point, might as well gear up for 2028. Nikki flip-flops on abortion, or at least Hillary sticks to pro-choice positions. Well, she does. Hillary did flip-flop. Remember, she had private positions. That's what really won Trump the presidency. When she said, yeah, so I tell my buddies at Wall Street something completely different than what I say in public. Hey, let's see. Can we excommunicate Haley and force to be a Democrat? She should. Okay, we're back.
Snowy night here in
Let's
Iowa.
go.
We are in the town hall with Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley. Welcome back, everybody.
Governor, there's a number of states that are looking to take former President Trump off the ballot. The Supreme Court is going to try to hear this, possibly decide it. What do you think about that? Should he be taken off the ballot? How do you think the Supreme Court will be receiving that?
No, he shouldn't be taken off the ballot, and the Supreme Court needs to rule quickly before other states start to do this. This is one of those don't open a door if you don't want to see what happens. This is a door we don't need to open.
We should open the door.
I will defeat President Trump
Kick
fair
Biden
and
off the
square.
ballot.
I don't need anybody throwing him off the ballot to do it. But this started back with COVID. The idea that you have people telling people what to do, how to think, how to live, all of that, that's wrong. If they can do this to him, they'll do it to someone else. We can't have others
really?
saying, I don't think he should be on the ballot. I think Americans can decide on their own whether they want him to be on the ballot or not.
All right.
Let's go to David, who is retired and from sales management from Des Moines. And you're deciding, I believe, between Trump and Haley. Is that right?
Right. I think I'm going to quote myself here right at the beginning by saying I voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020.
Me too.
Thank you for the opportunity. Governor Haley, I've heard you say many, many times that you agreed with a lot of Donald Trump's policies. You actually liked some of them. It was all the rest of the stuff that goes along with him that was the issue. Can you name 2 or 3 of his policies that you would consider bringing back and re-implementing should you be elected president?
That's actually a good question.
Well, I think what we saw with President Trump, and I think when I say he was the right president at the right time, he was good at breaking things, right? But now we need somebody to fix them.
No,
because
break
that
it
was
more.
The problem. Yes, he said that, you know, you look at the fact that he said that he was going to go deal with the border, but he never quite got there. We need to fix it now and make sure that we stop the flow. You know, when you look at what happened with education, he called things out, but we actually need to take it back to the basics and get all of the strings off of education so that we're focusing on our kids. When you look at what's happening,
I don't know what's happening
with
anymore.
law enforcement, let's bring law and order back to our country. But I think what he did do was he had a strength when it came to how to deal with countries abroad. That was important.
Did you just say 5 minutes ago he doesn't?
Again, he didn't follow through. With China, he allowed us to get these Chinese police stations. He let there be a Chinese spy base to go off our shores in Cuba. He didn't do anything about the fentanyl flow. So it's like he broke it, but he never finished it. He never fixed it. Now's the time we have to fix things.
This is absolutely
And that's why we need a new generational leader that's not going to focus on the past, which is what he and Biden both are doing.
Broken.
We need someone who's going to focus on the solutions of the future so that we can start getting things back on track.
So, David, what do you think about that answer? Does it you know, persuade you either way? You're on the fence still?
He certainly broke things, and I would say there's still a need for things to be broken.
Yeah.
For example, today, the president of Mexico was giving a list of demands to Biden about what we needed to do to get him to play ball with us. It didn't go that way with Trump.
No, and you know what we would do on that? We would go to the president of Mexico and say, okay, if that's how you're going to be, then no, you're not getting the $250 million in aid that you're getting right now. The problem, the reason Mexico's doing that, everybody smells blood in the water. Everybody smells weakness. And what I'll tell you, at the UN, I did one thing.
This guy understands
I put a book together, and I put all 193 countries. The second column was the percentage of times they voted with the U.S. and against the U.S. And the third column was how much foreign aid we gave them. I gave it to President Trump. And I said, quit trying to buy friends. Quit paying off enemies. We have to start being strategic. Last year, they gave Iraq money. They gave Belarus, who's holding hands with Russia, money. They gave Cuba, who we named the state sponsor of terrorism, money. They gave Zimbabwe, the most anti-American African country there is. We gave China money. How weak do we look? When I'm president, we will no longer give money to countries that hate America.
Governor Haley, thank you very much. Okay. This has been very instructive. Some great questions from Iowa voters.
Done.
Did the governor sway some of you? Some of you? Okay. We'll see.
There's
We
like
have a
nobody
couple town
clapping.
halls to come. We'll be following you as
Finally, son, we're done. Okay, the town hall's over. We're done.
watching our town hall
I
with
think.
Republican presidential candidate
Yes.
Nikki Haley.
Yeah, it's been great having everyone
It's over.
here. And for those of you who are undecided, if you want to come back, we have 2 more nights that we are in town.
We're done. Okay, it's over. The town hall. Listen, we have reached rock bottom. I miss the days of Chris Christie town halls. We have, okay, before I get into that, read some super chats. Adrian Augustin for 35 South American Rand. I think that's what it is, right? South African Rand. Or the Rand. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. Bad times create strong men. I agree. Chief Constituent for 2. Biden would get Saddam margin with Zoomers versus Haley. Yeah, he would. Okay, we're doing a quick poll. Rate Haley tonight. Okay, A/B, C, D, F. You know what? No. She's not even worth that. No, we're not even giving her a chance at that. Okay. And that's going to be D. That's going to be F. Below F. There we go. We have reached a point that I don't think we've ever even considered. We are at below F. Below, like, how do you even constitute that? You're just below F at that point. That is pathetic. 4% are saying A/through C. 6% is D. 8% is F. 83% below. Negative value. Boy, did that town hall suck. The people who voted for F merely wanted to spare her. Yeah, they were like, oh, gotta give pity. It was so bad, but I can't give her below F. That was just pathetic. That was just sad. So bad I'd consider voting for Biden. I cannot vote for Haley at this point. No matter what you do, I'm not voting for her. Nope. All right. Breaking news. Bernie Sanders says he will announce decision on his re-election soon. I saw that. All right. Option should have been EFLZ. Should have been. Because, I mean, I don't know how you can just say she's a true conservative after that. Could Haley be the Democrat nominee somehow? There's people saying that, but I don't believe it. You have a woman problem. I can't... that part is just... mind-boggling to me that she actually said that. We have a woman problem in this country. No, we just have a moron problem or something. I don't freaking know. Rank Trump, Vivek, Haley, Hutchison, Christie, DeSantis, Burgum, Pence, Scott from best to worst. Okay. Obviously, I go by man Trump. Then I gotta go with Vivek, Burgum, DeSantis, Scott Pence, Christie, Hutchinson, and Biden, then Haley. I mean, that's how I would rate it. Hutchinson may be below Biden, but he is not relevant. Gerald Malloy is running again. He's gonna flip Vermont. I heard Trafalgar's cooking up another poll. No, that better be fake. All right. So if anyone got any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, whatever, send them now or forever go in peace. Cause boy, that was pathetic. You cannot tell me she's a Republican after that. If Nikki Haley's a nominee, I'll not vote in 2024. I just sit at home watching her get crushed. I would vote for Biden or RFK. Again, that's determined if RFK's actually on the ballot. Oh god, the Trafalgar, Vermont poll. Yeah, that was bad. Trafalgar would be like Vermont +6. Yeah. Check the news. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing any news related to really anything. Hold up. Whoa, what happened to the White House? What? Okay, we got some breaking news. I think we got some breaking news, everybody. I gotta confirm this is real or not. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, this is a very interesting story, if this is real. This is from Breaking 911, so this is kind of legitimate, I would assume. Breaking. Driver crashes vehicle into White House gate, Secret Service says. Okay. Apparently, somebody crashed a vehicle into the White House front gate. I don't care who you are. Don't do that. And I really want to know who did that. Because that's freaking stupid. So I just had to double check to make sure it's real, but it looks like it is real. So that is breaking news, I guess. I don't get... Why does that have to happen on the stream? It happened 2 minutes ago, apparently. Hunter's home. Oh, man. Come on, we need some breaking news. Well, that's the breaking news. I would rather have vote for Lars Mapstead for the Libertarian if Haley's the nominee. But remember how I said I hate Libertarians for screwing Republicans? I would rather screw Haley than help her. Yeah, I could see that. Fed. But yeah, that's not good. I don't get why people do stuff like that. Just don't. You disagree with somebody politically, just don't use violence. It doesn't seem like that complicated of a theory, but who knows? All right, everybody. So I think we're gonna end the stream here. This was the worst town hall. We continue to reach rock bottom every day. We climb the ladder, but down. We are to a point where, can you get any lower? Can we get any lower than this? I don't know. But thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you all so much. We'll see you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever you see me from. Godspeed to all of you. Someone taking the blue pill is a good town hall. Yeah. Chris Christie's blue pill town hall was far better than this. At least that was just a what the F moment. This is just that. But yeah. Godspeed to all of you.